And here I am. Me. Oh, y'all thought I wasn't going to be on tonight, huh? Oh, okay. No, I'm here. I'm here. Yeah. Surprise. Y'all thought tonight was a recording, didn't you? No, I'm here. Ha ha ha. Here I am. Anyway, don't forget to share the video, the live video. Do it right now. Right now. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Don't be late. Participate. Anyway. me. Good evening, everyone. As you all come into the chat room, hello to the two people who are already there, besides myself. Thank you so much. For those of you who thought I was going away somewhere, surprise, I'm still here. Yeah. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I'm not going away. No, not going anywhere. At least no time soon. Until the good Lord says it's time for me to go. Otherwise, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be right here in your ear. Tanisha Fortson. Tanisha. DJ Joe Bowen. What's going on? Joe. Like Seth McCoy. Like Seth. Mr. Red, how are you? There we go. And we're live again. All right. Woohoo. And we're live, ladies and gentlemen. Joe, where'd you go? I love the way he recreated his own sound using nothing but keyboards. The late great Isaac Hayes and U-Turn, Hey Girl, right here on Bedtime Stories. The U-turn rap is what they call it on the beginning of the song. He took a classic once again, like he, normally did, along with people like Luther and Aretha, and he made that song his own. Isaac Hayes from the album of the same name, U-Turn, right here on Bedtime Stories with the peanut butter brother Dr. Al Greer. Hello to Lydell Redmond, also to Pamela Mahogany Clemens and DJ Joe Bowen. Thanks for checking in on Facebook. I appreciate you. And for hanging with me because, I was having some technical difficulties trying to get on Facebook. But like we say in church, the devil is a liar. Nice try there, devil. I'm on now. Speaking of Isaac Hayes, here's another song that he took from both Ray Charles and The Whispers. Your love is just so doggone good. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer, and this is Bedtime Stories. So, your love good. So good. Mm, so good. So good. So good. Good. So good. So good. So good. I'm gonna keep on sticking on you. Got to know everything you do. Much every move you make, yeah. I'm going to know every step you take, 'cause your love. I said your love is so doggone good. Mm-mm-mm. Got to know you every day, yeah. So, Tony Bosley. Wherever you come, yeah. I wanna know where you're coming from, 'cause your love, mama, your love, it's so doggone good. Come on, Ike. So good, so good, so good. Love under lock and key. Heart is an every night, 'cause your love, my your love, it's so doggone good. Mm, ah, mm, ah. Tony Bosley. Troy Anthony. Berta. Good evening, Miss Burton. Mm. 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 DJ Carl Dobbins. Dobbins and Dotson, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. Lonnie Burton, formerly known as the artist formerly known as Swiss Chocolate, ladies and gentlemen. Mm. I tell you, woo! I'm sorry, but that song does something to me. It's like it starts. I know, right? Oh, okay. Come on now. Even Prince was called Prince out of his name when he didn't want to be called Prince. So, but anyway, that song just does something to me. It's like it starts out, like any other slow song, and then it picks up towards the end. It's like Willie Too Tall Hall just kicks those drums into fifth gear. It is like ridiculous. Hey, Unc, it's time for me to come out of the shadows again. Please help. You got it. You still want Saturdays? It's done. You just tell me when. Saturdays is yours, okay? Right after Hypnotic he goes off at 3. From 3 to 6, it's all yours, buddy boy. Let me know when you're going to get back on the horse, sir. Otherwise, that is that spot right there. It's in park. So, we're just playing music during that time. So, whenever you're ready to get back on, you just let me know. I got you. Whenever you are ready. But anyway, Troy, play something from the I'm Gonna Get You Sucker soundtrack. I don't even remember what's on that soundtrack, Troy. I think you're pulling my leg, sir. Tony Bosley, he says you can't go wrong with Ike or Barry. I mean, the two of them, it's a done deal. Barry White, Isaac Hayes, Luther, The Whispers, yeah. Yep. If they don't get you in the mood, yeah, there's no mood to be gotten. The jobs I've been in had me going into going time to get some relief. Okay. Well, let me know. Like I said, um, Saturdays from 3 to 6 is still open. Whenever you want it, I'm not giving it to anyone else. So, unless somebody drops some money, that's a different story. If they drop some money, then we might have to negotiate. Then you can have 8 to, what is it? So 6 to midnight on Saturday. But as of now, 3 to 6 is yours. Somebody comes in and drops a ton of money on my lap. You know what they say, money talks, and boop. Yeah. So, but 3 to 6 on Saturday, 6 to midnight, or 6 to 10, I should say. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So 3 to 6, 6 to 10, or 6 to 9, whichever. You let me know. It's usually on Saturday nights, we're usually doing gigs. So, kind of hard to do gigs and be at the station at the same time, unless you record your show like certain people. So, Big Corn records his show. But you say, ooh, 6 to midnight. Ooh, yeah. Hey. Yeah, I'll drop my show because I'm on it from 8 to 11. So 6 to midnight, you can have it. You can have it. Since we can't get Uncle Sam to, we can't get him to come over from the dark side. So that's okay. You stay right where you are, Uncle Sam, at the Omni channel. Yeah. But we got a spot for you when you're ready. When you're ready. Sounds good, but we'll have to talk here more time. Music galore. Okay, you got it. Like I said, 3 to 6, 6 to midnight, whichever you prefer, whichever you choose. You have that option. Two more kisses to go. It seemed like every decade, Isaac Hayes came back and he reinvented himself. He had a little time in between albums. Stax Records went belly up. That Enterprise label, went belly up. And he showed up on a couple of other labels. As a matter of fact, he had his own label, which was Hot Buttered Soul, which was distributed by ABC Records. He went from there to Polydor Records, and he went to Columbia Records, where he did what is it? I just played it. The U-Turn album that was on Columbia Records, but it seemed like he always came back. And of course, his crowning glory was when he was chef on South Park. He really invented himself after that. And unfortunately, he made his demise. Good old Isaac Hayes. Like Tony Bosley said, you can't go wrong with some Isaac Hayes. Or Barry White, the Whispers, the OJs, and in some cases, Atlantic Star. Some of the greatest love songs of all time, right here on Bedtime Stories, with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is for Helene. Elo! Elo! What you saying? This is a Daddy Rich exclusive. Oh, miss him. I miss that man. Mm-mm. Yep. Miss that Uncle Richard. Yep. Elo. I got to say this about Richard. Richard Pegee, if anything, of course, he taught me how to do production. He taught me one thing, and I think he taught us all this. Me, PJ, Ray Neal, even Lamont. Loyalty. That was his whole thing. Loyalty. And I can say this because, he's not with us, but he's in us. Richard always preached loyalty. You can do whatever you want to do, wherever you want to go, whatever. He taught loyalty. He had a small circle. He had a small circle of people who were around him. Once again, me, Ray, PJ, um, DJ Genius, we were like his, and I hate to say it, we were his disciples. Even Maurice King, we were always around Richard. He held court. I remember us having a meeting once, and he said, sometimes you guys have to dress up. I ain't telling you to dress up, put on a full three-piece suit. And he reached to his tie and he said, this right here, this is power. When you have a tie on, when you have a suit on, when you are dressed a certain way other than what you wear every day, people respect you. They don't talk to you any old way. On Sunday, I get the greatest compliment from younger people. And at first I thought it was derogatory. I thought they were talking about me. On Sunday, when they see me suited and booted and going to church, they say old school. Because the way I'm dressed on Sunday, on my way to church, coming from church, whatever, they say, what's up, old school? They don't know me. They don't know me. But they know what I represent when I'm dressed like that. They don't talk to me any old way. Maybe the guys in the gas station, what's up, chief? Hey, chief. What up, boss? Chief. I'm not your chief and I'm not your boss. My ancestors were chiefs because we're Indian. But I ain't your boss. I ain't your boss. And they do and say that stuff because they hear us calling each other chief and boss and all that stuff. So I guess they think that, that's the way we talk to each other. Because they can't say, what up, Negro, ninja, my ninja. They can't say that. They know they can't. Because we'll reach over the counter and whoop their ass all the way back to Pakistan or wherever they came from. So they know they can't say that to us. But they can say chief and boss, And I'm saying, I'm not your chief. I'm not your boss. I'm not. Otherwise, I'd be running this gas station. So that's about it. But Richard was, yeah, he was like my other father besides Herb. And the things that he said and the things that he did, it rubbed off on all of us. Not only me, not only PJ, not only Ray, Maurice, even Lamont, but countless other people like DJ Carl Dobbins, who worked with him over at Sweet Georgia Brown. He got a chance to get a taste of Uncle Richard, or Daddy Rich as he called him. So we all got a chance to be in his presence. He was bigger than life. Even in death, he was still bigger than life. Every time I hear the song Stay a While with Me, you only think of one person, and that's Richard Earl Piggy Jr. Every time that song plays, that's Richard's song. It's their form of respect for older gentlemen, for us. Exactly. Chief. I prefer old school. I like that. Old school, but you got to think, in your lifetime, how many people have you come across that, you truly respected? You wouldn't even curse around them. No matter how grown you thought you were, you wouldn't even curse around him. He would curse you out, but you couldn't curse him back. And I remember a couple of times, and Carl will tell you, a couple of times I had to set Uncle Richard straight. I was at work one time, and he needed a setup. He was DJing out in Dalton somewhere. I'll never forget it. And he needed a setup. So I sent him, some CD players, an amp, some speakers. He said, Al, where are the turntables? I said, you didn't ask for any turntables. We don't use them anymore. He got mad at me. He got mad. And you know what he did? He bought him a CD recorder, and he went home and he put all his music on CDs. I said, you can get rid of that toolbox full of 45s and that chest full of albums. We ain't doing that no more. Richard Piggy went out and had him a computer made with 2 sound cards and enough memory to put all of his music on there. And he ripped them to the hard drive of the computer. And he used a mixer to go back and forth between the two, and he had PC DJ, which was one of the first song mixing programs that we used. And some people still use it. PC DJ. This is before Serato and Virtual DJ. He had PC DJ and 2 sound cards, so he could go up and down on either one of them. And he got a little Stanton mixer, and that's how he did it. He one-upped Herb. Herb was still using a laptop. Janet, Demita Joe Jackson, come back to me. It's your Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep. The greatest love songs of all time right here on WOSD Radio DB Chicago, WDLB Indianapolis, and WRLN, the best music of your life.com. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer, with Bedtime Stories, which is sponsored by Williamson Pizza, 2210 South Michigan Avenue. They've got pizza, they've got wings, they've got salad, they've got fries, they've got everything that your little heart desires. Thin crust, thick crust, they have it all. And of course, coming soon. And I'm going to pitch this. It's going to be the Peanut Butter Brother Pizza. Yep. And I'm going to tell you about that in a few minutes. The Peanut Butter Brother Pizza, named after yours truly. Or is it the Dr. Pizza? I don't know. The Dr. Greer Pizza or the Peanut Butter Brother. We'll figure it out before the end of the show, whether it's going to be the Peanut Butter Brother Pizza or the Dr. Al Greer Pizza. Our other sponsor is Mm-mm. Yeah, I know that guy. Hello to DJ Carl Dobbins. Also to Elo, Pamela Mahogany Clemens, Tony Bosley, Roberta Rankin, and the one, the only, Mr. Hypnotic himself, Lydell Redmond. It's your Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. We heard from Janet, now we hear from Big Brother Michael. We read Sweet Georgia Browns on New Year's Eve, great weather, and Daddy Rich said at midnight, hey, DJ Carl, you got the Cheerios and champagne. Cheerios and champagne. I looked up at the speakers and everyone turned and looked at me and I hunched my shoulders like, I don't know. Cheerios and champagne. Uncle Richard loved, I'll tell you this. Every Saturday he did his show from his own studio. He moved from where we were at the time at GCI, 332 South Michigan. He moved from there he was renting out this loft that he had redone into an office/studio. He had his own setup, his own station, his own everything. And of course, he allowed me to use it as well. I wish he had it to this day, I swear. That would have been an excellent spot for our station. But he had everything set up, and he had couches inside of the studio part. And every Saturday, he would order food from Wallace's Catfish Corner over on the west side. And Wallace would deliver the food. He would say, Wallace, where you at? That was the code word when he was ready to get something to eat. And by Wallace's Catfish Corner being one of the sponsors for the best music of your life, Wallace came running. He knew what the order was already. We would have a spread. We also drank cooked champagne and old style beer. That was every Saturday at, what was it, 600 South Cermak, West Cermak. So every Saturday, if he wasn't working somewhere, we were down there at the station. If, in fact, he had to, do a gig, he would always record his show. And back then, we didn't have CD players. We didn't have all of that fancy stuff that we have now. He would have loved it to have been able to record his show on a computer and run it back at the station, just upload it to the station. This is how he recorded his show. He recorded it on a VHS tape. This is no lie. He would record the show like on a Thursday or Friday or whatever, and he would use a VHS tape, and he would break it down to its slowest speed, which got him a full, I think, 6 to 8 hours. And he would have someone to man that tape so it would never stop. And it would run at the radio station. This guy by the name of Stephen Montgomery, he would sit there and watch it all night. That's what he got paid for. He got paid a whole 8 hours just to babysit that. He plugged it into the board and it ran for 8 hours. That's how he did it. He would be like elated now. He could just record his show on a 2 terabyte hard drive and just play all night. Oh yeah, he would just, oh my God, he would love that. But he went into the new millennium kicking and screaming. He didn't believe in CD players. After he saw Herb's setup, which was a suitcase computer. It was like a suitcase. It was before they had, we were using laptops, but the laptops weighed like a ton, not like the little thin ones that we have now. Herb had this suitcase, and you flip it up, flip it open, there was a screen. You flip it down, and there was the keyboard. The mouse, of course, was built in. It was a trackball mouse. And Richard wasn't quite ready for that technology yet. So once again, he had his own computer made, and he kept it in the suitcase. Yep, he had a tower, but the tower was like a little skinny flat tower, and he put in the suitcase, and he had his own monitor and everything else, and he had the little Stanton mixer. And like I said, somebody built his computer for him, where he had 2 sound cards where you could, go between from here to here, this CD player or player A to player B. And then he would hit the drops on what they call a shortcut. So he had somebody to man that, and he manned the shortcut. And the shortcut had all his drops on it, all his homemade drops. Kind of like the ones that you hear on the B-sides. They're all homemade. So that's what he did. And he had various voices who did, stuff on the station. One of those voices was Lisa E., who worked at GCI. She was one of the voices on his show. Others were Paul Morgan. What's the guy's name? It'll come to me later. And of course, myself. We were all voices on his show. Lady G. But, Richard was a how can I put it? He was a taskmaster. He wanted everything to be perfect. And his show was pretty much damn near perfect, right down to the songs, the drops, everything. Like I said, he had homemade drops where he took songs, clips of songs, snippets of songs, and he would make drops or jingles out of them. One of those jingles I use on my show on the B-sides, where it was a part in a song, Happy Happy Birthday by the Tune Weavers, I think it was. And there's just one part in the song where they say, "Do you remember?" And he took that and made it a drop out of it. And to this day, not only do I use it, Reggie Miles uses it on Sunday, and PJ Willis uses it, as well as and Ray Neal, who does his show. But it's stuff that he would hear. He could hear stuff that we couldn't hear. And that's what he did. He put stuff together, And I remembered when he got sick, when he had a stroke, and he was in a coma, which was on a Thursday. He didn't come out of the coma until, I think, Sunday. Richard Steele, his good friend for years, went to the hospital. He woke out of the coma, and his first words were, "Who did my show Saturday?" Richard said, "Well, Al Greer did your show." He said, "Okay," and he laid back down. Yep. And that was it. So the show was manned by myself and PJ Willis. So he wanted his show to go off without a hitch. And since I was already employed at the radio station, I was the person who did his show. And no one else. So when he passed, Mama P, or Savina, his then wife, was asked, "Who do you think should do his show?" And she said, "Either Al or Ray Neal." And that's it. I got into trouble, and Ray Neal took it over and has been doing it ever since. You see it, either Al or Ray Neal. So Ray has been carrying the torch ever since. And that's it. I'm happy for him. Because we all came out of the same camp. We were all cut from the same cloth, and that was of Richard Pegee, who was probably one of the best production people that I'd ever seen in my life. What he did with a razor blade and a China marker was phenomenal. And that's what he did. Yep. One of the best production people of all time. And a hell of a musician. He could play guitar and he could play keyboards. And he made all of his own jingles. It's just amazing to hear him play. George Benson, who mixes um, the styles of Charlie Christian, Wes Montgomery, and the scatting of Louis Armstrong with the sensitivity of a Nat King Cole, one of the greatest guitar players of all time. I remember a few years ago, he was doing a concert and his voice went out and people were complaining, why isn't he singing? He's not singing. Ladies and gentlemen, he didn't start his career singing. He started his career as a jazz guitarist. Somebody heard him sing and said, hey, you should sing on your next album. And he did. And it garnered him a Grammy, and that was for the album Breezin', of which that song was on. George Benson, This Masquerade, on Bedtime Stories. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer, with Johnny Gill. Lady G. So, but back to Richard. He had one of the greatest ears of all time. Ear as a um, as an engineer, and could do everything in the radio station that the engineers did, because he hung around the engineers and they were the ears of the station. They could hear if the station was, out of phase. The stereo imaging was off, all of that. They could hear that. And Richard could hear that. He could hear if the station, pardon me, if the station was out of phase. He could hear that. There was only one other person that could, Lady G was all, yes, she was. She was also a student of Richard's as well. But everything that we learned in the business, we learned from Richard. How to put a show together, but it was our own talent that he admired. He pushed us to be the best that we were. All of us. Once again, Ray Neal, PJ Willis, DJ L Genius, Carl Dobbins, Reggie Miles, all of us. Even Lamont Watts, yes. We were all students of Richard's. And once again, he was one of the best. I remember one night walking into his classroom. He was teaching production over at Columbia College. And I walked in just to see him, teach these students. And first thing out of his mouth when I walked in, he said, Herb's going to V103 for 2 days a week at $40,000 a year. I wasn't even making that much money for 5 days a week. And he said 2 days a week, Saturday and Sunday, Herb was going to be on. And I was like, okay, what does that mean? He said what it means is there'll be a slot open at Dusty Radio 1390. I said, really? Gee, I wonder who's going to get it. So at his suggestion, they put me in there for the interim. During that interim, which was maybe a few months, 3 to be exact, they interviewed everybody. They auditioned everyone. They interviewed a Bill Kenner, who was from WNOV in Milwaukee. They offered it to Jim Rags. They offered it to anybody and everybody but me. I was just holding down the spot while they found somebody whom they thought knew the music and could deliver. And like I said, this went on for a few months. So after a while, I grew weary. I was like, any day now, I'm going to be replaced. But every day I came in there and I gave the best show that I could. Every day I would walk in there and I would get on the air and I'd be like, just rapid fire. I was on every day. I was on. It was like, as soon as I cranked that mic up, that was it. I was on. It was like, bam, I'm here. It was like I was like a fighter. It's like, okay, take this robe off of me. I'm about to get in there and whoop some ass. And that's what I did every day from 2 to 7. They finally gave up the search and announced that I was the permanent host of the afternoon show that Herb used to do. Richard was like, why don't you give the young guy a chance? He doesn't sound too bad. Why don't you give him a chance? Lady G says, yes, he was a tough taskmaster where he was trying to get me to record a drop or something. And me not knowing nothing about radio, he snapped on me and I gave it back to him. And I stopped speaking to him for several months. I was so heated. And that's the way he was. Once again, he was a taskmaster. Once again, he wanted what he wanted out of you, and you were going to do it because he saw something in you that you didn't see in yourself. In the words of Run DMC, it's like that, and that's the way it is. Yep. He was a bad man, but he was a good guy. And he learned from the best. And he passed it on to me. He learned from the best, and he passed it on to me. Meaning the WVON good guys. He learned something from all of them. He was the young guy. He was the kid in the room. He joined WVON back in 1968 and became the music director. He worked under Lucky Cordell and E. Rodney Jones. He was the kid there. All of those guys were older. Purvis Spann, Jay Jackson, Cecil Hale. They were all older gentlemen. And Richard was the music director. He picked the songs that got played on WVON. They used to put out a survey sheet. It was in all the record shops, all the black record shops on the west side and south side, with pictures of all the good guys in black and white around the survey, around the music survey, the top 45, as they called it. Richard typed those lists by hand, took them to the printer, and of course they put the pictures of the good guys around it. He hand typed those. Somewhere, somebody's got a whole box of them, of the WVON surveys from all the years that WVON was on. That's what he did. That's who he was. He typed all the lists on a typewriter. There were no computers then. He typed them on an IBM typewriter. I wish I had that typewriter. That typewriter, would fetch a pretty penny these days. It was the typewriter that he used to type everything. I was fortunate enough a few years ago when I got a chance to go to the old studio at WG, YNR was. WYNR 1390, which is located at 87th and Cicero. Yep. And one of the engineers gave me Richard's tape dispenser. Yep. The Great Al Green, a song originally done by the Bee Gees. How do you mend a broken heart? How do you mend a broken heart? Shout out to Troy Anthony. He said, I heard you used to use a telegraph to apply for your first job. You got jokes, huh? Okay. Anyway. Yeah, thank you very much. We were talking about the great Richard Pegues back in, I think it was 2009, March 3rd to be exact, that he made his transition. I remember being at the hospital. We were all around him, his sons, his sister, his brother-in-law. We were all there at the hospital. I'm not going to say the name of it because, I'm going to say the name of it, Jackson Park. Jackson Park they weren't equipped with what he needed to save his life. So unfortunately, they could not move him to Northwestern, which he would have gotten a lot better care and would have been with us today. Mama P, or his widow, Savina Pegues, said his heart was only operating at like maybe 30, maybe 40%, even with the pacemaker. But he was still going like an Elgin watch. Lady G said, I remember seeing him in a news clip on TV where he was playing Ooh Child on his guitar. He had this huge afro, which is ironic because he lost all of his hair towards the end. And it looked like a little old man. He looked older than Herb. Herb had the ponytail. And Richard just stayed. He just said, okay, I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it go. Memories of Richard Pegues. What's up to Troy Anthony and also to Lady G? Thank you for checking in to Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Here's the great Major Harris. Old school, what's going on, sir? Thomas Hope Sr. Jackson Park still ain't equipped with modern technology. I know, right? Mm-mm. That's a shame. Mm-mm. Poor Jackson Park. It's just there, right? It's just there. Mm-mm. I used to call it Killer Park, but you know, there was a time that I would go past Jackson Park Hospital, and I wouldn't even look at it. I wouldn't even look at it because I just thought it was just a travesty that they let Richard die. I'm sure they didn't let him die. I'm sure if they had the technology, he would have been still with us. But they were trying desperately to move him to Northwestern Hospital, which they probably could have saved him. But we were all at the hospital. And we all got on the elevator together, me and his sons. I said, "Yeah, he came out of it before. He'll come out of it. He'll come out of it again." That was March 3rd, 2009. Never will forget that. Never will forget that day. I remember that morning after being at the hospital all night. I was staying at my brother's house, my brother Glenn. Glenn had gone out of town, and he said, "Man, you can sleep in my bed." I said, "Cool." Because Glenn had this gigantic bed, wooden frame. And I went to sleep that morning. And I woke up later on that morning to get ready to go to work. I was working at Kennedy King. And I got the call saying that Richard didn't make it through the night. That was one of the worst days of my life being in radio. I had to go to work that morning and all day get phone calls from everyone. Sun Times, Tribune, Defender, you name it. Of course, they didn't use any of my quotes. They used all of Marv Dyson's quotes because he had known Richard the longest. So the short time I worked there, it looked the same inside it did back in the 70s. Oh, no. That's sad. But I went to work that day. I wore a royal blue suit, which was the same suit that Richard had. It wasn't his suit, but we all had that same color suit. And it was a royal blue suit. And I wore it to work that day. And everybody was like, "Oh my God, you're wearing Richard's suit." I said, "No, he had a suit like this. It wasn't, this wasn't his in particular, and that was it."
With your prescription, Al Greer with Bedtime service.
So when I say it was one of the worst times ever, having to go to work and answer all these questions, well, how long have you known him? What happened? This, that, and the other. Worst day. I sat in my office. I cried all day. Cried all day. Yeah. And I remember Herb coming down to the radio station. And Herb said something to me that resonated in my brain forever. Herb said, "Well, I guess I'm all you got now." Like, oh, God. He said, "Oh, too soon, huh?" I was like, "Yeah, I guess I'm all you got now." And that was it. And that was it. That was what? '09. Damn. It's a long time. So, yep. Long time. Troy said it. I heard you used the telegraph to apply for your first job. Yeah, I was that old. it's been, it seemed like it's been that long, too. Yeah. I remember when all the guys were younger. Well, they were older than me, but they were all. Ken Wadlington, good evening, sir. Yeah. What's going on, Ken? I remember it was cold that day, and I got out of church for the funeral because I was on the bus. Yep. It was a cold March day. His funeral was what, three days later? Yep. It was a sad day when Richard went away. Yep. One of the worst days of my life in radio. Yep. Lynn, formerly known as Lynn Rowe. Lynn. Mhm. Yep, that was the worst day forever. Marvin Gaye, Distant Lover, right here on Bedtime Stories. The show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed, but never to sleep, with the greatest love songs of all time. Coming up in about 12 minutes, we're going to do, well, more than 12 minutes. More like 18 minutes. Okay. Give myself a little bit more time to get ready for foreplay. Hello to Ken Watlington. Thank you for joining us. And the young lady formerly known as Lynn Rowe, she's now known as Lynn Lynn. Thank you for joining us right here on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. And of course, this show is sponsored by Williamson Pizza at 2210 South Michigan Avenue. Great pizza, great wings, great salad, and a great atmosphere. Trust me, you'll love it. Here's Frederick and Gentle on Bedtime Stories. I'm in a daze, I'm so confused. Darling, time I'll wait for you. You'll be coming, I'll be gentle. Loving you. Is that the same Williams that used to be on 57th and Ashland? Absolutely. Williams in Pizza. Yep. Yep, the same people. The same old family recipe. And all their uh, pizzas are made with sausage. Well, I had this idea, and I'll tell you about it when I get back. He's back. Oh, good God. They used to give you plenty of sausage and cheese on a pizza. Yep, Williamson pizza. Very good. Very good. I remember doing commercials for them that never got played. I got paid for them, but they never got played. Yep. Yep. Great pizza. So I don't eat sausage, right? Because that's pork. Had this great idea for either ground beef or what was it, or ground turkey. So that would be my pizza, the Al Greer pizza with ground turkey instead of sausage. Yep, they have. Yep, 87th and Damon too. Yep, sure did. Yep, yeah, buddy. Yep, they still have their locations though, but the one downtown, that's the one. Vic Jackson, chicken spinach and Alfredo sauce. I know that's right. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Chicken spinach and Alfredo sauce. That's a good idea, Vic. Thank you. Thank you. I will definitely give them that idea. I think they might go for it too. Yep. Healthy pizza. That's what I'm talking about. That's right. A healthy pizza. Yeah. Do they deliver? Yes, absolutely. Williamson Pizza. DoorDash and Grubhub. That's one of those enchantment songs that you just don't hear anymore. It's trying to get over with you right here on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Oh, man. We're talking about Williams Pizza right now. It's making me hungry. I just had a steak sandwich. Thanks to my sister, Angie Martin Turner. Thank you so much. I got a steak sandwich for dinner and a hoagie for tomorrow for lunch. I'm good to go, you know. It's your Dr. Al Greer just ahead of foreplay with Maze featuring Frankie Beverly. Of course, enchantment going out to Slick Vic Jackson. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Uh-uh. Dun, dun, dun. Your son. You and I. Bam, bam. Yeah, I remember being around the world and I. Oh man, I was like, this will never be a hit. It was like what is this I stuff? What is that? What is that? I tell you, what is that? Velvet? Mm-mm. And Vic was right. Yep, you were right about that one, Vic. You were right about that one. That's right. The rest is history. You were right. I have to give you that one. Lisa Stansfield. And where is she now? Mm-mm-mm. Yep, Lisa Stansfield. Mm-mm-mm. Amusement Park Band and Heaven and Earth and Magnum Force. Yep. Wow. Not Magnum Force. Maze featuring Frankie Beverly and Just Us. It's your Dr. Al Greer just ahead of foreplay right here on WOSD Radio DB Chicago, WDLB Indianapolis, and WRLN, the best music of your life. You have to say it like that, of your life. Of course, we are sponsored tonight by What'd you say, Ken? You listening to the what? The who? Not the Sweat Hotel. Vic, get him. Get him, Vic. Get him, Vic.
Gwen? Blake? Oh my God, hilarious, right? I mean, no. What do you mean? Are you wearing spurs? Did you ride a horse here?
Not the Sweat Hotel.
Don't trust your love life to just any
That's
network.
right. Tell him,
T-Mobile
Vic.
has more
Bedtime
number
Stories
ones
is
in
on,
5G
baby.
than any other network. You need a ride home? T-Mobile is the leader in 5G.
T-Mobile, proud sponsor of Bedtime Stories with Dr. Al Greer. Attention all pizza lovers. Williamson Pizza and Sports Bar, 2210 South Michigan in the South Loop is the place to be for great pizza. But that's not all they offer. Try their succulent chicken wings, mouth-watering pizza bread, and their house-made garlic bread. In the mood for some French fries? Order them by the basket. And don't forget their delightful salads as well. Williamson Pizza offers music by local DJs nightly and an adult atmosphere. Watch your favorite sports teams on their big screen TVs. Williams Inn is also a great place for meetings as well. Call ahead and place your order. Take out or dine in at 312-753-3108. 312-753-3108. Williamson Pizza and Sports Bar, 2210 South Michigan Avenue in the South Loop, is open daily at noon. To view their menu online, go to williamsonpizza.com or call 312-753-3108. 312-753-3108. Williamson Pizza and Sports Bar.
All right. Why, thank you, Al. I've been meaning to play that commercial, you know. I've just been sitting on it. I'm like, okay, they're a sponsor, so I might as well just play the commercial, right? I don't have to say anything. All that has been said. Anyway, it's time for foreplay. And I promised that we were going to stick with the theme of, you know, it being Women's Month and everything else. But I promised that we would do this group in foreplay. So we just going to have to hold back until next week with with this young lady, which I, you know, don't normally like to play unless it's her birthday. But so on her birthday, it'll be all night with Phyllis Hyman. But tonight, this group hails from Detroit, as a matter of fact. They hail from Detroit. Their producer is the same producer that is Anita Baker's producer. And they made a lot of slow jams. They just couldn't get a fast hit for nothing. All of them were slow and medium tunes. And this is one of the first ones. Tonight we feature in foreplay, Enchantment for Slick Vic Jackson on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Bum, bum, Hello, sunshine, to see you doing fine. has faded away. Frankie Beverly, and my birthday is on the same day, December the 6th. Frankie Crocker. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. All right, y'all. Ooh, excuse me. This is a small crowd tonight. I guess everybody was like, hey, get your live together, buddy. Ah, water. Where did everybody go? Where did I go? I don't even see me here. Mm-mm. Steak. Woo-ah. Mm-mm. Let me move my camera around. See if I can get rid of some of that background. Probably not. Yeah, let me put it right there, right there, right there. Right there. Go up. Okay. Yeah, cool. No, still got still doing that stuff. Okay, I ain't gonna mess with it. Ooh. Ooh. Anyway. I'm going to leave it alone. Good old H2O. Ah, wow. Good old purified water. There we go. That's a little better. What I need is some of those simulated backgrounds. Get me like a green screen. That ought to do it. Where is everybody tonight? I got two people. Two people. I know Lady G's still in there somewhere. If she hasn't gone to sleep yet. Slick Vic's still hanging in because he wants to hear Enchantment. Slick Vic said, I'm at work. Dad, you work harder than me. Mm-mm. I thought I was the hottest working man in radio. Slick Vic got me beat. He at work. Third shift, Sunday through Thursday. That's what's up. All right. I ain't mad at you. Well, my third shifters. And of course, my dusty insomniacs who hold me down each and every night. as I flip the 45s and play the B-sides. Wiki wiki. Well, I guess that's not too bad. You have your days open. That kind of throws you off, I guess. You know? Oh, it's throwing me off right now. I know I'm ready to go to bed. Mm-mm. My background's no more than a sheet, but it works. As long as it works. Yeah, buddy. As long as it works. Got to support my guy. We've been on Bedtime Story over 20 years. Woo, Lord. I tell you, it's a rough job, but somebody's got to do it. And it only half works. Thank you. Thank you, Lynn. Yeah, only half. Yeah, okay. It actually covers where I sleep. So, you know. Now, when I was out in Dalton, it was a different story. You know, you could, it was like a, you know, straight wall behind me. But, it is what it is. You make do with what you have. And I'm trying to make do with what I have. And it seems to be working so far. Only half, but it's working. And he supports Blue Lights in the Basement with Gary's own Sliver. Yep, it's working. It's working. Yeah. Herb. Yep, it's working. It's working. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what they call me. You leave it alone before it falls down. And knock the whole thing down. For I'm your peanut butter brother. Go from here. This is an actual speaker here. I can't get in it though. Breaking a nail. Man, I have not heard from EB in years. I have not heard from EB in years. I remember I talked to him. I forgot where he was. But he started calling himself Butter. He was Butter. And he was at some station. He was big time, man. And I haven't heard from him since. I need to do a Google search on him. Not a Google search, but see if he's on Facebook. EB Butter. That's what he's calling himself. North Carolina, yep. Wow. I remember we were dating the same girl, right? Yeah. So one night he invited her over his house. I was staying over his crib. And he invited her over the crib. Yeah. You should have seen the look on her face. She was like, oh boy. Oh boy. Yep. Busted. And she couldn't be trusted, I tell you. Could not be trusted. Go from here. Gloria. Had to block your boy Bob Coleman. What happened with Bob Coleman? Last time I talked to him, he was pushing coffee. If that's such a thing. I mean, I drink coffee all the time, Telling me how to do my Facebook show. Oh, Lord. Yep, he had invested in some coffee company. And he was pushing coffee. I was like, go on with your bad self, Bob Coleman. St. Louis, Missouri. He never came back to Chicago. He's been doing, he left there to go to Magic down in St. Louis, and him and Roy Michael Robertson, they never came back home. Never. I was like, wow, okay. Guess it got. He's in Florida. Okay. I guess it got good to him. Yep. I didn't recognize Bob without his curl. Bob Coleman. Yep. They kind of pushed the older guys to the side down there. Roy was good. Roy Michael Roberson, BMX. Yep. Yep. Him and Roy were real close because I remember Bob had a whole studio set up in his house, and he was good friends with Roy Michael Roberson and Spoon. And one night, he invited me over, and it was me, him, and Spoon, and Roy Michael Roberson over Bob's house. Bob never got on BMX either. He never came to BMX, but he was friends with everybody, and he ended up at Magic down in St. Louis. And what's his name? Spoon ended up in Houston doing TV and stuff. Well, Marco Spoon never liked me. Yeah, Spoon never liked me for some strange reason. I'd go down to the station for an interview. He said, "What are you, a model or something?" I said, "No, I'm just here to get a job, sir." He wasn't that good to me. Who, Roy? Roy or Bob? Which one? Spoon just thought he was Spoon thought he was the stuff. You couldn't tell Spoon nothing. Spoon was both on, Bob. Yeah, Spoon was both Spoon was both on GCI and BMX. But I guess Bob never made it to BMX. He knew everybody over there, but he was never on BMX. But Roy was everywhere, and Roy would always fill in for anybody. And anytime somebody needed to take off, Spoon would, Roy Michael Roberson would be in his place, either him or Armando. Let's see. Don't want to see. Well, I think that was more than 4 on Enchantment for Slick Vic right here on Bedtime Stories. With the Peanut Butter Brother, Dr. Al Greer, it is, that was it for foreplay. Vic Jackson, we were talking about back in the day, radio back in the day. We knew Roy Michael Roberson and Bob Coleman, who worked at WLTH, whom I got a chance to replace at LTH. I became the afternoon guy over at LTH when Bob went down to Magic. I think it's Magic 102 down in St. Louis. Yeah. Him and Roy Michael Roberson both went down there. And unfortunately, they're no longer in radio, which is sad because they were both very good. They were both very good guys. I kind of miss those guys too. Anyway, yeah, moving right along. I'm not going to say anything because Slick Vic had another opinion about one of the jocks, and I'm not going to say anything because Bob and I went to high school together at South Shore. And he and Dana Lynn, not to be confused with Dinah Lynn, they were they helped me get into radio, into LTH in the first place. Bob and Dana Lynn were real close. Dana Lynn, not to be confused with Dinah Lynn, she was the music director at the time under Fred Moore, who was the program director. Fred ended up going down to WDIA in Memphis. I was so mad that he didn't take me. Oh, man, I was crying. I remember he came down to the station one night or one day, and it was snowing, and he left. I was like, you're not going to take me with you, man. You're the Commodores on Bedtime Stories. Yep. Oh, look, it's Catherine Flowers. Long time no see. Yep. Yep. Yeah, Dana Lynn was her name. Not to be confused with Dinah Lynn, because Dana Lynn Huskinson was the music director. Dinah Lynn came later on and changed her name to Yvonne, which she took from her mom. So she became Yvonne Biggs. So, when she left LTH, she went back to using Dinah Lynn, which is her name. But, yep, Dana Lynn Huskinson. Yep. Dana Lynn had green eyes. She was gorgeous. Oh, my God. Yep, she had those pretty eyes, and she was, yep. And she was tall, and she had wavy hair. And her and Bob went to South Shore together. Yep. She had beautiful commercial, but copycat. Remember, we printed in a minute. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Copycat printing, which was downtown. I remember because they used to do the record list for WLTH. I remember that. Yeah. Copycat. We printed in a minute. Mm-mm. We print everything but money. I remember that, man. I remember. Oh, no, look. It's Casper, a.k.a. Mr. C, the Slide Man. What's going on, bro? Yep. We printed in a minute. Everything but money. And they were all in downtown Gary. I remember that. Oh, yeah. Yep, we definitely have some stories, man. We have some stories. Excuse me. Mm-mm. I miss all of those people. Remember Jan Wolfe? She did middays. She was the only white girl on the radio station. And Jan did middays. Jan Wolf. I started calling her the Wolf Lady because you have Wolf Man. I started calling her Wolf Lady, and it stuck. She went with it. Yep, you were intern there. I remember. And later on, Victor Vincent came there too. Wow. I remember Victor was straight out of broadcasting school. Said you ran errands for her? Man. Yep, she was a looker. She was a yes, she was. She was a looker. But yeah, we got some stories, man. We got some stories in the Naked City. Like Uncle Sam always said, it's 100 stories in the Naked City. Yep, 1,000,000 stories in the Naked City. Yep, Jan Wolf, Lawrence Whittemore, who changed his name to Gary Law. Yep, Cosmo Courier. That was his name, y'all, Emmanuel Cosmo Courier. He was the newsman. That's the Cosmo Courier. WLTH News. I think I think Cosmo tried to run for some kind of office at one time. I remember that. He wanted to be a politician. Him and John Jaggy. They were quite a team, I tell you. John Jaggy and Cosmo Courier. Judy Burke was the GM. Yep, sure was. Yep, Judy signed the checks. And the people that owned the station, they were right next door. That was Metropolitan Mutual Insurance Company. How do I remember all of this, Vic? Dang. Metropolitan Mutual Insurance Company. Located at, what was it? If we were 3669, they were 3667, something like that. Yeah. Yep. Oh, man. John Jaggy, Cosmo Courier, Carmelo Reyes. Remember him? That was later on when they became Talk. Carmelo was the afternoon guy. Hispanic. Really nice guy, too. But yep, it was just 3 jocks on there. It was Fred Moore in the morning. He was also the PD. Dana Lynn was the music director. Uh, Jan Wolfe came on middays, and then Bob Coleman did afternoons. That was it. The Mighty Three. Luther Ingram says, I just don't want to be right. You got to be right to get right, or get right to be. Anyway, I heard somebody say that. It's your Dr. Al Greer. We are reminiscing about, reminiscing about the station that Vic and I used to work for back in the day. Vic said he did sports with Tommy Williams, but he was also a local star DJ. Which he was. Was that the Coterie Club, whatever that was, yeah. Which was right down the street from the radio station. See, back then they only had 3 jocks on the radio station because it was a daytimer. Fred Moore did mornings. He was also the program director of the radio station. Dana Lynn Huskinson, she was the music director. Jan Wolfe did she did middays, and then Bob Coleman did afternoons. They only had 3 jocks, but they were a powerful station, boy. I wish that I knew the whereabouts of, I don't know if Fred Moore passed or whatever, because the last time I heard from Fred Moore, he was down in Memphis, and he was doing middays down in Memphis at WDIA. And that was it. Jan Wolfe, she disappeared, but that was like long ago. That was like 83 or something like that, Vic. Yeah, we're telling our age. Well, it's up to June Moon. Thank you for joining us here on Bedtime Stories. June Moon was a very popular radio record promoter back in the day. And all around good guy. It's always good to see him because he reminds me of the good old days of radio when we were young. And everybody was Uncle Somebody, all the record reps. You had Frank Chaplin, you had, what was his name? Eddie Thomas, Alvin Thomas, everybody. Great guys. Even, what's that guy's name, Vic? Gus Redman. Yeah. Gus Redman. He was good too. Uncle Gus. Good old Uncle Gus. He's still in the game somewhere. It's your Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. From the album Invincible, here's the great Michael Jackson. Frank Alexander, WMPP. Hi, this is Frank Alexander for Screaming Wheels in Gary on Melton Road. Yep. He used to send a bus to 87th Street and the Dan Ryan, and the bus would leave there and go to Screaming Wheels. We would go out and skate. Dinah Lynn was the DJ, and we would skate at that Screaming Wheels, and the bus would bring us right back home, back to 87th Street. 87th and the Dan Ryan. How about that? That was our introduction to Gary. And Frank Alexander would come in and do all the commercials. You know, he'd be like, count me down. I said, well, you don't have no script, sir. I don't need no script. And he would talk for 60 seconds. I never will forget that. He didn't need a script. He didn't need anything. He was, hi, this is Frank Alexander for Screaming Wills. We'll pick you up from 87th and the Dan Ryan in the bus, and we will bring you right back to Chicago. Come on out to Screaming Wills and have yourself a ball. The skate, all the prices were included, the skates and everything else for one price. And we'll come get you from Chicago and bring you all the way to Gary and drop you off right back home in Chicago on 87th and Dan Ryan. I'm Frank Alexander for Screaming Wheels. John Q. Adams. I don't quite remember him. What did John do? I remember the name, but I don't quite remember what he did. John Q. Adams. That's a little better. Let's get a little chilly. John Q. Adams. One of my instructors at Columbia was with her and Richard Piggy. John Q. Adams. Wow. Now that's what's up. Man, talk about history. Man, that is history right there. Yep. All the great ones, everybody's gone. Man. Is the Ragman still on in Chicago radio? His daughter was a writer for the Equalizer in Hollywood. Really? The show with Queen Latifah, The Equalizer. Yeah. Rags is still on. What station is he on? Soul 106.3. Your ever-loving Rag Man. Yep, he's still there. I think he still does. I think he just does Sundays now. He was doing Saturdays and Sundays. He's doing Saturday morning. But your ever-loving Rag Man. That sounds so nice, I got to play it twice. So says your ever-loving Rag Man. Mm-mm. Yep, Rags was the man back then. Sounds so nice, I gotta play it twice. So says your ever-loving Rag Man. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we spare no expense around here at Bedtime Stories. Trust me. If you ever watch me on Facebook, in the background, I have a sheet. That's my background. Yeah. Spare no expense here. Here are the Isley Brothers wrapping up foreplay. Well, actually, wrapping up the whole show right here on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Over and over. I think that's why Rags never had to get a real job. His wife, yeah, he never had to get a real job because his wife worked as a city clerk at in the city of Gary for the city of Gary for years. Yep. You too, Ken. Have a good week. Thank you. Don't forget to check me out on the B-sides on iHeartRadio on WVON, the talk of Chicago. Night, night, Lynn Lynn, formerly known as Lynn Rowe. Thank you, Vic. Night, Ken. Mm-mm. Now that's how you end the show right there. Vic Jackson, Lynn, formerly known as Lynn Rowe, Ken Wadlington, Lady G, June Moon. Did I forget anybody? Chris Bass. Everybody, thank you so much for staying up with me, as always, here on Bedtime Stories. Till next time, blue skies, green lights, and peace. Good night, Elo. Nighty night, everybody. I is going to bed. Once again, thank you so much for staying up with me. I really appreciate y'all. You make my night, and that's for sure. All right. Till next time, Vic Jackson, Ken Wadlington, Lynn, formerly known as Lynn Rowe, and everybody, and to all the ships at sea, good night, and God bless.